Greetings. It is a warm 17 degrees here at the shop. So thought I'd do a little video messing around with the parts truck tonight. Already got quite a few things off. Had a friend of mine come over and give me a hand with some of it. Nothing big, but time consuming. And so anyway, I thought I'd do a little video messing around with that stuff. I'm in and out, warming up. As you can see, my breath. Yeah, I want to get this thing stripped down and get working on the 88. So you see, got the door panel off, most of the internals off. I'm going to keep the rods, the latch, that brace bar that's in the four-wheel drives, and that's about it. I mean, realistically, man, you could save this whole thing, but I just don't want it hanging around, becoming a shelter for random animals and snakes, especially in the summertime. Yeah, I really hate getting rid of some things sometimes, but it is what it is. I may take the runner and stuff out of there. But this door is really rotted and rusted underneath. Somebody with some pretty good skill could bring it back to life, but that guy is not me. So, excuse me. So I will have it here for a little bit, so if anyone needed or wanted it, they could get it. The fenders are totally gone. They're rotted inside out. You see holes and stuff forming. Not really worried about the radiator support, even though it is, well, I think it's rust-free anyway, but little things like this, headlight trim, that's original, because I don't see the aftermarket ones usually have like a dual bolt pattern in it, and I don't see that on this one. I'm going to try and get these brackets off, like I said before. I got the rat's nest out of here. I call it a rat's nest, but it might actually have been a rat's nest, but just vines and stuff growing. I probably will keep this. If anything kind of gives me a fight, I'm not going to really put up much of an effort to get some things out. I've got a lot of things as it is. It's always good to save. One day somebody else might need it or want it when I'm gone, who knows. But parts are trickling in for this. And I really want to get playing with this and get this running. But that'll be another time here, probably next week. But as for now, I still got to do this door, undo the rod for the lock, the rods for the forward lock, and the latch itself, rods for the latch, open the door. Get that out, get these cut, all that. So, you know, the harnesses, if anybody needed those. I'll take these, the glove box, the speaker grills, little things like that. I'm going to definitely take the seats and all that trim back there. Definitely take that. I might pull this carpet out, but then again, it comes to where can I store it? I could maybe put it for sale, but again, if you know me, I'm not really a wheeler and dealer. If I have room to keep it, I'll keep it, but if not, it'll just kind of go the way of the dodo out of here. But again, depending on how it looks when I get the seats and console and everything out. So, excuse me again. Like I said, forgive me, as it's 17 degrees. It might have dropped a degree. Who knows, but it's pretty cold out here right now. Like I said, I do have heat, but I have my door open most of the time. And for the amount of time I'm out here, it's like, why run it in a lot of ways, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to live out here or anything, but By the time it gets nice and warm, I'm usually heading in anyway. So, but yeah, I'm going to keep that mirror. That's going to go in my 93. Of course, the wheels. I've already got the tank out. Back in the day, old timers would take a tank and you could actually put rocks in it with some purple power or some other cleaner. Get a friend and rock it back and forth, and you could clean it that way and get rid of a lot of the rust and gunk and stuff that was in it. But a new one is pretty cheap. By the time you buy the cleaner, get somebody to help you and all that. I mean, and plus it's got the plastic baffle. So it is what it is. It had a lot of gunk in it. Same with the 88 over there. The price of a new gas tank these days just warrants just getting a new one. But yeah, that's what some old timers would do. I've seen them do it, and you have pretty good results. Basically, you're making it a tumbler, and then you just, like I said, you put some gravel in there with a little bit of, now I'll say some like 57 stone or something like that, and then you, like I said, shake it back and forth with some purple power, some cleaner, and then you kind of see that gets rid of all the quote unquote loose stuff. And then you kind of go from there. And I mean, I've seen plenty done that way. I'm sure they got different things out there now, pretty much the same type of stuff, rust reformers and stuff. But anyway, I thought I'd share that. But yeah, I think that's about it. I'm going to keep the rear. So yeah, to add to that, yeah, I'm also keeping the rear 342 gear. The G80 carrier, all that looked pretty good, axles and whatnot. So I will keep that, clean it up, and just kind of put it on some kind of little rollers and shove it in the corner. But that's going to be that. I will take some stuff off the dash. I'm definitely going to keep the steering wheel and the steering column. I mean, look at that. That is tight. You don't see them like that. That's pretty darn crazy. So I'm going to keep that. Maybe I left some things out. Yeah, I might keep the cruise control apparatus and things like that. I might see if the distributor's any good. Like I said, the engine's been exposed to rain for who knows how many years. If it's rusted or anything, I could put a new gear in it, but again, I mean, GM original is the best way to go, but how bad do I need it? I'll keep these. It's always good to have. I got tons of these, and it's always good to have some on hand. People need them here and there. That's about it, really. Like I said, if I had a bigger operation, then I could probably get some people in here and just help me strip this thing down to the bare bones. I mean, there are tons of good parts probably that I'm definitely overlooking and just not going to be concerned with saving, but it is what it is. So yeah, I've got, the little covers for the seats. Like I said, I got the panels off to save those switches. That's a hot item right there, the driver's side power window switch, the one that's shaped like that for first gen. I'm assuming maybe they did that because this was the last year of the Square S10, but they kept the Square Blazer for another year, I believe. And maybe that's what maybe it just kind of was some new things coming in for this. Who knows? I don't know. Kind of over talking what I'm assuming a lot at this point, but I'm pretty sure that's the reason why. Excuse me. Because all the ones I've seen were the flat face, driver window, passenger window. But I've seen these mainly in Blazers. But of course, I haven't had a lot of four-wheel drive, so maybe that's how they come. Not a big deal, doesn't matter. But anyhow, like I said, I got the tank out because I took the sending unit out just to look in there, and the smell, of course, was just terrible. I will keep the wheels as time progresses. people are starting to go back to stock things and kind of looking around for things that people used to just kind of discard because they were buying something new. Same thing with those. I'm going to keep those wheels, and I'm going to keep the tires on those wheels because those are the old school BFGs. I'd have to look at the date, but who knows how old these things are. But they're holding air. I don't see a lot of dry rot because this truck's been inside for a long time, but I mean, you can feel them there, hard as a brick. So I am going to keep these. I've got 4 good tires and wheels that I can use as use on a roller. That I get things like that I get in here every so often, or just a good stock wheel to put on something to just kind of store it or something like that. And but yeah, so I'm going to hang on to those. Maybe the back glass. I'm definitely keeping the side glass here. So that's about it. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of other parts I'm sure somebody could use somewhere, frame parts someone could cut off and weld on. But if it's not claimed in the next week, couple of weeks, then she's going out of here. Like I said, I'm kind of picky about having a lot of things just kind of laying around my shop. It gets to be an eyesore. The next thing you know, you have, like I said earlier, animals living in it and all that stuff. And it doesn't look that pretty in the yard. So now if I lived way out of the way, different area, more isolated, I probably wouldn't care. But, you know, I could always use the room for something else. So, but anyway, that's that. I'm going to get in here and start turning some screws and a few little bolts and try to get this stuff out. Because like I said, we got some more snow coming tomorrow morning into Saturday night, and it's going to be cold, cold, cold. And I'd love to get this out that door and get that white truck where this is and get the parts that I bought to get it running on it. I'm excited about that, and that'll be a next week video. So I didn't have the drive shaft for this. That wasn't in it. But anyhow, that's going to be that. So these turn pretty easy, surprisingly. Trucks seem to rust and fall apart differently. Some things do have their usual issues, rockers and cabs, corners and things like that, but I've noticed sometimes, like the 93 I have, the extended cab, the gray one, that had some rust in some weird spots, and all the bolts were easy to come out, oddly enough, where the rust was. Now this truck has rust in spots that I don't normally see. But there again too, where has it been the last 10, 15, 20 years? So that plays a part, environment and all that. But like I said, the inside of this is pretty good shape. Looking forward to getting this stuff out. And like, see, look at that bright red in her glory days. That thing's a little hard to get out. One, it's so cold, and my hands are cold. But it's going to come here in a minute. Almost. I'm thinking if my hands wasn't so cold, there you go, and I wasn't so cold, that would have probably had gone easier. But now I got to go get the Torx so I can save this. This isn't cracked or anything, so I definitely want to keep that. All right, making some headway here. Got the seat out, some pieces off of this. I might have to abort this or drill that out. Don't know how much I feel like fighting it. Kind of hate to leave them behind, but that bolt is in there pretty good. I've broken bits before. They're not super cheap, the good ones. But we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow may bring. Right now I want to continue on with everything here. Like I said, the console's out. That's in great shape. We had a major rat's nest, mouse nest, alien nest up in it. Like I said, the seats are pretty good. I think they'll clean up nicely. At any rate, the brackets are good. So, but like I said, I don't think I did any videos on these, but these were in really rough shape. And a little bit of steam clean, and they came out nicely. So, but all the trimmings here, all the pieces are there. This truck didn't even have all that. So, got these out. So yeah, we're just going to keep on going. Okay, so I'm back at it on the 93, stripping down. It is 19 degrees outside. I had the bullet heater going for a little bit. This is everything I got out last night. This right here is something I wanted for my 93 right here. And it works. I've already tested it out. It works, so I'm going to clean it up and put that in here. So right now, like I said, I've already got the cluster and stuff out. Pretty direct, pretty simple. 4 10mm bolts there for this. Little nuts here that go here. You see where it's discolored. That goes in there. Then that goes over it. You see where it goes over those studs and the nut went on it. Pretty self-explanatory. But right now I'm going to get this out. The steering column, man. I haven't seen one in this condition in a long time. There are no cracks. Really no discoloration. All this is nice and firm. The tilt function works really nice. I mean, everything on this thing works well. It's weird because it was sitting in a field for years, but again, different environments get different, I don't know what word I'm looking for. The rays, maybe how it's facing away from the sun. Maybe it's not getting all of the sun all day long or something. But either way, it was sitting in a field, open field at that, with other vehicles. But anyway, I've already got not sure if I can squeeze the camera up in there, but it's got 4 bolts. You just follow the column down, and at the base of it, there's 4 bolts that go in there. 10mm, you pop those out. Then you've got 2 nuts here that come out. But before I do, and of course the wiring harness. But before I do that, I am going to take the nut off here from the steering arm, right there. I should have sprayed some PB Blaster on it, but I didn't. It'll be all right, I think. I've had pretty good luck so far getting things off, except for the seat belt bolt. But again, I'm not going to fight it. If I can't get it, can't get it. It's not a big deal. I want to get this thing out of here so I can get started on the 88. So right now I'm going to take my 15 millimeter and see if I can turn that nut down there. All right, so you can kind of see it. Like it is cold out here. It's not too bad in here at the moment. I had the heat going, like I said, but the wind is howling tonight. 35, 40 mile an hour winds. Yeah, there you go. So that came off surprisingly, or I should say turned. Oh, accident. Cameraman down. So I don't know if I'm aimed back on it or not, but sorry if I don't, if I'm not on it, but I don't know what I hit to make it fall, but this is turning pretty easy. Man, everything is in a state of cold. But here we go. Let's see if I can turn it by hand. Yep. There we go. So, like I said, here's the nut and bolt for it. Got the little, it's kind of like a carriage bolt there at the end of it. So I always keep those, and now I'm going to see if I can pry the steering shaft off, arm, whatever you want to call it. I call it both, but oh, looks like she wants to come. So I might have to tap that with a dead blow or something and work it down, but she's kind of coming down, which not complaining because I haven't sprayed anything on it to make it loose. The camera's just kind of dangling. Let me see if I can find my hammer. See if I can't get a little bit of vibration. Oh, almost got it. With it being cold, I only want to grip it for so long, and it's hard to keep pressure on it at that weird angle, but let's try it again. So there we go. That's off. So I'm gonna go back in there now and undo those two big nuts. That's what she said. And oh, I gotta undo the linkage there. Don't forget that. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a linkage down there for the transmission. Don't want to mess up this column at all. So get that squared away and get that out. so there's the steering column out. Here it is, completely pulled. Like I said, I haven't seen one in this good of condition in a long, long time. I did give it kind of the junkyard treatment. Nothing was cut pertaining to the column, just the wires coming from the truck that hooks to it. A lot of times you can use these pigtails and connectors and stuff like that. Sometimes people might need them, but they're there. The connectors are, the connections, I should say, are safe from the elements or the prongs getting bent or anything like that. But everything for the column is there. I'll also save this. Who knows, for a future project, engine swap or something, they're good to have as well. So, going to carry on. Try to finish up the driver's side at least tonight. Get the seat out, hang on to it if I can get the bolts out. I'm definitely keeping the covers and all the plastic. I'd love to get these out because they are not broken, but sometimes those bolts can be pretty stubborn. So, man, take a little break here for a second. We have windy conditions. Some snow flurries. Every so often you get a nice little 30-mile-an-hour gust. But inside of here it sounds pretty wild. So anyway, kind of got off topic there. So, let out some of my heat. But so anyway, like I said, going to get this hopefully squared away tonight and get this thing pulled outside and see about getting it on my trailer and heading to the old scrap yard. Okay, so got all the dash components out that I think I want. Get the pillar covers off. I'll probably take these too. These look like they're in pretty damn good shape too. The visors. Tell you what, I'm definitely going to take all this off, and I might put that in my 93. Seeing how the four-wheel drive shifter and the cover and whatnot was there and the electronics, I've been wanting, so I was going to put an EQ in that 93, and I'm thinking I didn't want it kind of like to build something kind of sitting here because of the heat. I wouldn't want heat blowing on it constantly. So I just realized that these were built this way because of the cover and stuff that was here. So I might see how that looks in my 93, because mine's cracked anyway and this is missing anyhow and all that. So I'm going to get this off, and get the kick panels off over there and the seat out, and that's about it for the front. Everything came out pretty easy. Don't think I'm going to worry about the dash itself. I know people are out there covering them and all that stuff, but that's a little bit more work than I want to mess with tonight or tomorrow. I've got to get things kind of cooking here. So I'm going to get these off, and get that off. And then I think that's about it for the front. Then I've got plenty of room to work on the back. So as you see, I took the radio out just to have the harness. I know it doesn't work. The buttons are froze, broke, or whatever the case may be. But that's everything there for those. Get it kind of labeled and see where I want to put it in my shop. Get it cleaned up a little bit and put it with the rest of the inventory. Well, I think I'm about done for the night. I got everything out pretty much that I wanted to. Um, I'm going to have to grind those bolts out, probably go underneath and cut them out from the bottom. They're very, very rusted on the bottom of them, but that's kind of to be expected. Not a big deal. It's not like I got to reuse the truck or the bolt, but I would like to keep these, and I got to take these out to get all this plastic out. And I definitely don't want to tear it or break it. I mean, this is in friggin' great shape. Both of them are. I'll show you. Look at this. Nothing's broken. Nothing's broken on the bottom. Everything sits and fits really nice. Even these came right out. I had to get new ones for this. Everything, like I said before, everything kind of rusts different depending on where it's at, right? Common sense. But also depends on how long certain neglect goes. So this truck here, who knows how long it had been, but the side glass window seals, they leaked like crazy, and the seal that goes on the behind the kick panel here for the drain, someone had tried to rig something at some point. Why, I don't know. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But luckily I had some another parts dash, and I used it to seal the leaks. This truck now has no leaks. But where I was going with these, I had to drill these out to get that side glass out, and I had to order more. Luckily, LMC sold them, but of course, nothing's better than OEM. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Again, I've had no problems. Zero problems. I ordered the little gasket that goes with it and all that, the little neoprene gasket, whatnot goes with it. New bolt, a screw, whatever, and the button. But I've had no problems with it since. This truck here, when I took the glass out, I mean, the seal just kind of fell off. Again, who knows when it started, may have leaking, or started to have leaked. And so anyway, yeah, so we got a lot of rust here. Kind of par for the course. This truck kind of has it starting to form, but it's not super terrible yet. When I had all my seats out and the carpet out, it was just fine. But yeah, you can, well, it's par for the course for these things, these trucks here. So anyway, very happy with that. Got one visor I want to get out. I can do that tomorrow. But overall, you see what I'm doing. You see what I got, and you see where I'm at. I think this, see on mine, like I mentioned before, this piece right here is broke. And this piece on this one, of course, is perfect. But I don't think I really want to take my dash out at the moment to repair it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut what's broken on mine and just kind of use that plastic weld tool and go from there with it. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but like I said, I haven't had that truck really running. Well, it's been running, but I really haven't been driving it a ton. One, the weather's been like crap since December. Of course, I drove it in the Christmas parade. But aside from that and work and just little things, I haven't really put a ton of miles on it since I got everything all back together. I had been cruising and stuff a little bit, but not a lot. Kind of hop on this for a quick second. Before I go to mini nats, I want to replace the upper and lower A-arms, bushings, and I've already put ball joints on it, but she still has a little squeak. So why not put new springs, upper, lower A-arms, all that stuff, new bushings. And so you hear. So anyway, I kind of don't want to tear into it deeply if I don't have to at the moment. But it's just that little piece that's cracked. It doesn't bother me to cut this. If I didn't have this truck, it would end up in the junkyard anyway. So I'm just going to cut this and just graph on the mine what's broken, cut it, and use a little tool, not Dremel tool, whatever, and cut it down, file it down to where it fits perfectly into the spot that's broken on mine. Plastic weld it. I mean, there's plenty of ways I can attach it. No big deal there. So anyway, that's that. Hopefully have all this out tomorrow. Like I said, it's like you can probably hear me stumbling over my words a little bit more than usual. Like I said, it's 19 degrees out here and it is blowing 15 to 25 mile an hour steady winds tonight. So anyway, I don't think I'm going to worry about saving the carpet. Even if I did, I mean, it would make a cool video. I've done it before, cleaning the stuff up. It'll probably clean up pretty nice, but I don't feel like fighting it, nor do I feel like finding a place to put it. Who the hell knows when I'll use it? Maybe somebody else could. Maybe before I get rid of it, somebody else can hit me up and grab it. That'd be great, but if not, she's going out of here. Like I said, take this glass. I might do that here in a second just because I'm out here in cold. And that's going to be about it. Still got to get this latch out. It's unbolted, but I got to take the rods off and disconnect the lock and the handle. But that's pretty much it. Other than the engine bay, I do want to grab this if I can get it out, if it doesn't want to break. I would like to have the bracketry for the serpentine setup, which is pretty cool. I have the TPI on this. It would work with that just fine. Same thing. Don't think I'd have any issues. And so yeah, so anyway, I would like the brackets. Brackets are hard to find. The battery tray, of course. I might take a look at the inner fenders, see how they look, but that's not a major concern. I might check out the wiper motherboard and see if it works better than mine. I see if, yeah, gas factory. So yeah, other than that, she's about ready to go. These mirrors, they're kind of toast, cracked. I might take them off just for posterity to save them for the future. Who knows what somebody might want to do. But overall, maybe another decent afternoon out here. And this would probably be done tonight if I didn't have to grind and cut those bolts out. Like I said, excuse me. Like I said, I'm going to go underneath. I don't know if you can see. I don't have my flashlight in my hand or nearby, but you can see where, oh yeah, you can see where it's rusted. So like I said, I'm just going to come in here and just take my grinder, my cutoff wheel, and just cut around it, just pull it all out, and then grind the bolt in half, whatever. Like I said, you can see the rust, how it's formed, and that's not just going to fall off. Even if you got it to turn, it would probably stop or just give you trouble. Even if you back it in, pull it out, back it in, to get it out as far as you can, then run it back down, then back it back out again, run it back down. I don't see my cutoff wheel will work just fine. Then pull her outside, get her near my trailer, and cut the rear out of it, and I think we are done. So if there's anything, it might not be a super thorough video, but just want to share what I'm doing here, working at the shop, hanging out, Anyone have any questions about what's going on, I'll gladly answer. But, and yeah, there are parts lots of other things that could be saved, but to kick the dead horse, I just don't want cut up projects in the yard. No one will really say anything with where I live, but I don't like it. It's ugly. Like I said, it's just becomes home for snakes and whatever else. It's just something I don't need around here. Plus with the rust, I mean, what are you really saving? I mean, you could come and cut a piece of metal or something you're working on. Maybe somebody in a tight jam could use a door, even though it's not worth it to me because of the rust on the bottom. As you can see, pieces were stolen off for other things at some point. So yeah, I mean, there still are some pieces that could be used, but again, when, who, specific parts, you know. Like I said, brackets are usually a hot seller. Well, let me rephrase. I don't sell things anyway, but when I say seller, I mean hot items. I should have said hot items. People like to hang on to those for V8 swaps and whatever. Like I said, I mean, look at this. I'm not even going to worry about this. It could probably be saved, dip it, bring it back. It'd make a cool video. I've done certain similar before, but again, with the time frame I'm kind of working on, I kind of just want it gone. Again, doesn't have to be, but I don't know. I get kind of picky sometimes, and I just come out here and look at it, and it's like, man, I want that thing out of here. So, like I said, cut the rear out of her. Like I said, I might hang on to that back glass just because it's factory. I know it's factory. I know it'll clean up. That's just mold. But honestly, that's not something I have to have. The glass is scratched up pretty decent. Is that something I need? No. Is it factory? Yes, but just nothing I need. I mean, the windshield is good in it, but I'm not cutting it out. So my main focus right now, I want to get this done and get on this. I got one thing that's on the way that will hopefully get it running. I haven't installed any parts I've gotten yet. I kind of want to do it all at one time and just go from there. I'm hoping it'll fire up and just run. It may smoke. Who knows what it may do. I'll definitely be posting this. And if it runs, I know it ran going when they parked it. I think I said that. It ran when they parked it. Of course, the guy was going to get it painted. You know how those deals kind of go. It wasn't no fallouts or anything like that, but just time, money, effort, blah, blah, blah. You know the story. But again, like I said, this truck is all here. I've got everything here to put this thing together. If this engine runs, I haven't even checked to see if it'll turn over. This deal kind of just fell in my lap. But like I said, you can still see the spider web and cobwebs on it, and the paint does from where it was at and whatever. It smells like a body shop. It smells like Bondo and sandpaper, and you know the deal. But if this thing runs and kind of has no quote unquote issues, then I'm going to clean it up, powder coat a bunch of things, and make her look pretty nice, like the rest of the vehicles and trucks I have. Probably just clean this up, put some POR 15 on it. POR 15. Again, I am not going crazy with this one. I will buy new interior, carpet, but all this will clean up. Like I said, it's been sitting inside, so it hasn't seen, sunlight, animals nesting in it, blah, blah, blah. I think the carpet on the back of the 4x4 will fit right on the back of this. It should anyway. I could probably dye it the color that I'm going to do this, or not. It doesn't matter. I mean, in this truck, it's not going to matter. For me, I probably will come in here. Like I said, the whole thing needs to be power washed. And if you could hear the wind right now whipping out there with it being 19, 18 degrees, It's going to be cold here for a bit. It's going to be a while before I get a power washer on it. So, but I can get the new tank and all that stuff in it. I mean, listen to this. She's it's I don't know what you could do with that inside of there. But anyway, kind of jumped off the 4x4 to talk about this, but this is the pressing thing I really want to get started on. I knew I wanted some pieces off of this when I saw it, as I've gone over with you earlier. Of course, I hate to scrap it and tear it up, but like I said, it's got some pretty good things on it that I'm going to take. I might take this off. I mean, when have you seen one of those? But suspension and all that, I mean, it's just not worth it to me to keep this around. It just isn't. So that'll be that. Like I said, the engine is seized up. I try to turn it over. That turns. That'll turn. Alternator's froze. The engine itself is froze. Obviously, it's been outside exposed. Let me see. I mean, it still has water in it. I mean, that might be water all the way up to it. I doubt it. You know what I mean, though. But anyhow, I really want to get this going. And by going, I mean, you know, same thing with everything else I got. Just want to goof off, play around. But I really want to get it cleaned up. And man, if this thing runs and kind of doesn't have any issues, then that's half the battle. Same thing with, like I said, this truck over here. It ran great when I bought it. So, you know, you're more inclined to take certain pieces off, clean this, powder coat something, or just kind of spruce her up a little bit more than what it was when you got it, blah, blah, blah. But like I said, this was a friend of mine's in high school. We weren't like brothers or anything like that, but it was a high school pal. Never had any problems with the guy. You know, never really hung out a lot, nothing like that. But I guess you could say more of an acquaintance, someone I know. I mean, he lives right up the street from me, actually, and I don't know if he knows I have this or not. But he wanted to get it together, and like I said, the old saying, life happens. So, yeah, I really want to get that breathing some fire, hopefully. So, right now I have a mess in here, as you see, but it's fun. Like I said, if I could get those bolts off, I could grind on them tonight if I felt like it, but it's cold. I don't feel like generating any more heat. So I'm happy with the progress that I've made. And so remember that scene in Short Circuit when he took that guy's Firebird apart? That's what it looks like. But like I said, save the wheels, obviously, whatever. But and that's that. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear the wind pounding on the door, but like I said, it's cold. I'm gonna go in, grab me a snack, hot cup of coffee, and half-ass edit some videos and get them posted. But again, like I said, little things like this that are hard to find. That truck right there, like I said, it kept leaking in that one spot. Even when I replaced when I put the correct panel in it, it still wanted to leak around that grommet. And the way that grommet is, you've got to have this. I'm sure you could rig something else up, but you got to have that because it goes like so, like with this piece against the truck, against the cab, and then it slides on like that, and it keeps pressure on it, keeps it from leaking, blah, blah, blah. But it kept leaking at that one spot. But I had that dash over there that I've shown before. It had the pieces in it that I need. And this one has both of them, has two of them. So, yeah. Like I said, I did give it the junkyard treatment. I hate doing that. I'm going to grab all the fuses. You can always use a fuse. That's about it. Like I said, you could get lost doing this stuff, and next thing you know, you got an old truck sitting here that's really gone to hell, and nobody can really use anything on it because it's been sitting for so long. And you know, again, if you mess with this stuff, you know the deal on that as well. Pretty much why the truck's here right now. Same difference. You know, the guy's dad, he's I think he just said he just turned, and the guy I got this from is a guy I went to school with. So, but his dad just turned 72, and the friend, you know, he's my age. So it's kind of like, all right, are we really going to get this going? Are we really going to do all this? We're really going to do anything with this? And they own a body shop, paint and body shop. So at some point you start kind of liquidating assets, and you look around and say, well, this thing doesn't run. It's never going to run. What am I doing with it? Nothing. It's been here for X amount of years. How many pieces have I used off of it compared to, do I really want it sitting here? And that's kind of how I look at things like this. It's like, obviously, if the doors are good, I take them off, put them with my others, all that good stuff. The usual stuff, you know, you don't want to just throw things away, but how long would this thing sit here before somebody else at my age? How long would it sit here? I mean, hell, how long are these things going to sit here? At least with this, something like this, somebody could spend, I mean, it's one of those things, I keep getting projects, and, you know, you bounce around on things. You might tinker with this for a moment, get this ready, pretty much ready. Next thing you know, you're buying another truck and you're excited about it, and then you get that one done, and then it's like, well, I'll fall back on this when I can, when I feel like it. It's not a mandatory thing. The next thing you know, you're working and you get a message saying, hey man, you interested in this? And I'm thinking, yeah, because who knows where this thing might end up, you know? So, and then I'm seeing the potential. I'm just like, man, if this thing runs, so now we're just cleaning it up, putting it back together. Realistically, I don't have to paint it. I've got the red bed, I got the tailgate, I got everything this thing needs. I don't have to do anything to it. Realistically, I could just throw it together and say, screw it. But, you know, I just want to try to make it a little bit better than when I found it type thing, you know the deal. So, kind of long story short, if you have any questions, anyone has any questions about some things, yeah, like I said, I don't normally just start cutting and ripping things, but all the parts I've saved are good. This thing will never see the light of day as far as, I should say, the highway in working capacity. Again, I mean, you got a little bit of rust up here. You should have seen some of the other nests that I've been taking out of it. This, if I open that, for all I know, something might come out of it, which I thought, I tried to check it out as best I could before I brought it in here, because you do not want, I don't like harming animals at all, but you also do not want a mouse finding its way into running vehicles. Everything in here runs except for that blue truck right there at the moment. And that just realistically needs me to come in here for a few days and actually just crank on it and run things nice and neat and blah, blah, blah. But other than that, that's the only one in here that doesn't run and move on its own power at the moment. But you don't want a mouse to make a home in something, and you get driving and you got wires shorting out and smelling dead carcasses and all that stuff. So anyhow, this is where we're at. I definitely want to save these seats. They are in phenomenal shape. They've probably never been used. I can tell. I mean, yeah, they probably never have been used. Who knows? They just way better than those. But there again, too, that truck had more rust that I fixed than this one. This one had more rust on the outside. That one had it on the inside because of the side window seal and the piece here that was leaking. Now on that 93, maybe it's a four-wheel drive thing, maybe they were running out of parts by the time they were getting to these, who knows, but that one has a hard plastic panel on it that bolts in and seals it. This one just has, I'm gonna butcher the name, I'm cold, I can't, my blah, 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 blah. but it's got that butyl, what does he call it? That butyl, I know I butchered it, but tape on it. And that's just a sheet of that. And that's not going anywhere. But that's what they have on this. I'm sure they were cutting costs here and there wherever they could, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, that's going too deep into the subject of what I'm actually talking about. But there it is. So I really want to get this stripped, these parts put away, get this out of here, and get that 88 pretty much sitting where this one is. Because it's going to be cold here for a while. It's snowing here and there, and there's ice outside right now. And while I got some decent downtime, I would love to get that thing running. So the first couple of warm days, I can get it outside and power washed. But this is Mike T signing off. Thanks for hanging if you did. Thanks for hanging if you didn't. Doesn't matter to me either way. Thank you.